If we're going to take this Sydney scene to the next level, there's one thing that is abundantly clear that we're going to need, and that's government assistance. Now, in amongst all these lockdowns and restrictions, the arts and entertainment sector always takes a backseat and ends up suffering the most. So in this episode of Sydney Speaks, we wanted to ask artists and producers what they think can be improved moving forward in terms of government assistance in the arts and entertainment sector. Now, given the current circumstances that we're in, this is a really important episode with some fantastic answers. So let's get into it.
I think this whole pandemic has really shown us how essential the arts and entertainment sector really is. I think in a time of confusion and fear and everything kind of feeling like it's falling apart, everyone turned to the arts and entertainment sector for comfort, for support, to feel like they're connecting to someone or something, to be entertained, to be distracted. They turn to that industry to basically keep them afloat. And I really hope the government remembers this when this is all done and really acknowledges this industry for how essential it is.
I think it'd be nice to see the government hold the music industry with a bit more value. We're always the first industry to close whenever there's a lockdown and the last industry to open back up, and it's clear that the music industry is an afterthought.
Would love to see more government assistance for people in the music industry, not just artists, just music industry heads in general, DJs, producers, engineers, all of that sort of thing. We all lose work at this time, and it's a pivotal moment for the government to help us out, but I feel like we just get left in the dark.
What could be improved is the awareness. I don't think a lot of creatives know that there are government bodies here to assist us. So the more artists that are aware of these grants and benefits that are for people like us to pursue our dreams, the better off we will be.
I've seen some great initiatives from the government and local arts councils, so I really just want to see more of them, specifically for artists, young artists from Western Sydney. Anything that the government can do to continue shining the spotlight so their voices are heard, I think it's great. It's great for the culture.
They could introduce policies that music that you hear in retail outlets, must be local made, or 50% must be local made. That will go a long way.
Like, why don't they have a specified program that's more concentrated on somebody that wants to become an artist and be successful from the start? Like have like a program where they do get financial aid. If the government really wanted to push that forward, especially for the youth, it could change some lives, man.
Definitely more live venues, definitely more attention in general being paid to the music and the arts, because what's happening here will definitely go on to have a global impact, and I say that confidently.
It will bring in prosperity because everybody loves the arts on some sort of level.
I think that if the government placed as much attention, focus, support and funding on the music industry as they do on, say, the sporting industry, there'd be a lot of positive changes for us in the music industry.
More support, more funding, better pay so we can actually not have to struggle all the time would be great.
Obviously, there needs to be a lot more amplification and championing of the arts in general, because right now we're gonna let a generation of creatives just slip under the radar because there's not the infrastructure there to support them. And it's terrifying because I might be one of them. There's a lot I want to do and say and express, and I know every other artist feels the same. And we need to be put in a better position to do that.
In the bigger picture, we're super blessed to be in Australia. Myself, I grew up in South Africa, and there's no support from the government over there in terms of funding artists and stuff like that during a time like now, during a pandemic. So on one hand, we're super blessed to be in Australia. Obviously, it can be improved.
I think that there really needs to be more assistance in terms of grants, in terms of funding, in terms of even just promotion, in terms of people who are struggling, artists that can't catch a break with any job that they get because of any other underlying issues that are very common with artists. I think that the government could just go further, period. That's what I'm saying that.
On the final episode of Sydney Speaks, we asked the all-important question: where do you see the Sydney scene in the next 5 years?
I think the rest of the world is honestly going to love us.
Once that step is taken, you'll start to see the growth.
I see more collaboration, inclusion, diversity.
I think we're going to be ground zero for the next wave of musical talent.